Chikshusha Iva Arkam Atmadrupya Nivritta Buddhi Avasthano Dhuri Bhutanya Darshana Upalabhyatmana Atmanam Chakshusha Eva Arkam Atmadrup. Word to word. First word itself is significant. Understand significant instructions on the Nivrutta. Pravrutti and Nivrutti. Vritti, Chitta Vritti, many places it has been discussed. Nivrutta, transcended. Buddhi Avasthana, the stages of material consciousness. Duri Bhuta, far off, Anya, other. Darsana, conceptions of life. Upalabhya, having realized. Atmana, by his purified intellect. Atmana, his own self. Chakshusha, with his eyes. Iva, as Arkam, the sun. Atmadruk, the self-realized. Translation given here, Sri Bhakti Vedanta Swami Shubhopad Vijay. One should be situated in the transcendental position beyond the stages of the material consciousness and should be aloof from all other conceptions of life. Thus, realizing freedom from false ego, one should see his own self just as he sees the sun in the sky. Please repeat. One should be situated in the transcendental position beyond the stages of the material consciousness and should be aloof from all other conceptions of life. Thus, realizing freedom from false ego, one should see his own self just as he sees the sun in the sky. Understand? Let us offer our prayers. Om Adhana Tamirandasya Gnananjana Sarakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Vete Grim Yatkrupatam Vande Sri Gurum Denataranam Paramanandamadavam Sri Chaitanya Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhu Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Ananta Guru Vaishnava Vijay Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Sri Chaitanya Manovistam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Shri Rupa Goswami Prabhupada Vijay, Shri Prabhupada Vijay, Gaur Bhaktam Vijay. Before I forget, let us pray for Sarvasambhava Gopal Guru. Take a minute. Om Namo Bhagavate Narasimhaya Namaste Tejase Aviravit Bhava Vachana Kavachadamsta Karma Sayam Dande Randaya Tamo Grasa Grasa Om Swaha Vayam Avayam Atmane Bhushta Om Shram Vinavinaza Narasimhaya Bhagavan Ki Jai Bhakta Sivan Plaz Maharaj Ki Jai. Okay, let's look at the purport of 327.10. Prabhupada. Consciousness acts in three stages under the material conception of life. When we are awake, consciousness acts in a particular way. When we are asleep, it acts in a different way. And when we are in deep sleep, consciousness acts in still another way. So Prabhupada is talking about Jagruti, Sushupti, what is there? Swapna. So these are the three consciousness. So one must be always awake. The transcendentalist is always awake in Krishna consciousness. During the night, 24/7 is always so by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when this Kulina Gram Vasis meeting Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they asked Kulina Gram Vasi Kaile Nivedan. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they are submitting to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Kim Kartavya, what is our duty? What we are supposed to do? We don't know anything. So then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is instructing. So Prabhu kahe Vaishnava Seva Nama Sankirtan, Vaishnava Seva Nama Sankirtan, Krishnera Charan Sigre Pai. If you just take to the serving Vaishnavas and chanting the holy name of the Lord, then you can attain Krishna very quickly, rapidly. So that means there further Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then they asked three times these questions. Then who is that Vaishnava? So Vaishnava means what kind of who is a Vaishnava? Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explains Nirantara Namaloilo, one who is chanting the holy name of the Lord is the Madhyamadhikari. One should take shelter of him. One should offer obeisance to him. Pranadavi Bhajana Vignavisham, as next minister. So this should be. And then further explains, next he explains, third time when he explains, the devotee, as soon as you see him, then you chant the holy name you want to chant, you remember Krishna. To that person you should associate. So, yeah, the first word, what is the word used? Nivrutta. Vritti means activity. We are all engaged in some or other. The mind and intelligence, senses, everything is bhoga pravritti. We're talking about. So, and Shastra explains that one who has the bhoga pravritti is blind. Materially blind is spiritually blind also. This is a statement of Shastra. This is not my statement. This is a statement of Shastra and Acharyas. Nate vidu swarthagasim durasaya bahiraddhamanina andhayatande rupanema. Andhayatande is blind. One who doesn't know what is his goal, not knowing the goal theoretically. Actually, practically is realizing this is my goal every day. I'm operating on that goal. How I'm going to come to that goal? I have short-term goal, long-term goal, but how I'm going to attain it? And he's assessing himself every day. Nate vidu swartha gati. Durasaya bahiraddhamanina. Durasaya means the desires are not aligned with the Lord, not Guru, not Shastra. Sadhu Shastra Guru is not aligned. Durasaya bahiraddham andhayatande upaniyamana. As soon as because he's blind, then he's completely folded with three big strong ropes of mode of ignorance, passion, especially, and then goodness. Upaniyamana tepija tantra urudam nibadde. He's been tied up chained up with ropes with bhoga pravrutti. When we are in the temple, when we are chanting, when we are, of course, in the office, for sure, bhoga pravrutti is there. So, of course, when we are outside, for sure. That's why what is Bhagavad Gita teaching the same point only. Look at the 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita. Krishna is speaking specifically emphasizing how to transform our material work, everyday work. It is emphasizing transcendental knowledge. And Prabhupada quotes the Parikshit Maharaj himself, before asking Sukadeva Goswami, please speak about the transcendental activities of especially the childhood activities, Balya Leela of Lord Krishna. 10.4.1. 10th canto, chapter 4. No, chapter 1, birth of Lord Krishna, I think. Verse number 4. Parikshit Maharaj is quoting, asking Sukadeva Goswami to explain. Before that, he is telling, Nivrutta Tarsair Upagiyamana Srotra Mano Abhirama Bhava Aushadi Srotra Mano Abhirama Vina Pasugna. Forgetting one line. Nivrutta Tarsair Upagiyamana. The vritti of enjoyment mentality has to be transformed. Whom you have to hear from? This transcendental knowledge, first 6 chapters is emphasizing, in order to transform your material propensities to enjoy, you have to take to transcendental knowledge. You have to hear transcendental regularly, every day. In this particular verse, look at the purport. Please go back home and read this verse purport multiple times until it goes into our, the intelligence. There, Prabhupada clearly talks about one must hear this transcendental knowledge, Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, from the pure devotee. Pure devotee. That is a spiritual master. Emphasizing the hearing from Prabhupada, hearing from spiritual master is very important. Not a single day should be missed without hearing every day. Prabhupada is very clear on the purport. One must hear from the pure devotee. Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam. Both Prabhupada says, emphasizes. One should not hear from the other, then it will not be effective. His bhoga pravritti will not go. Nivrutta tarsha. Vrutta tarsha. Tarsha means indriya tarsana. That's why in the association, which association, the pure devotee association. Satasanga chadile vishay vilas, asate vilas. As soon as he is into the enjoyment, asate vilas, te lagi karane karma bandha forms. This is Prahlad Maharaj statement, all the same thing in 7, 9, 16 verse. I'm not afraid of nursing the word. Samsara dukkha tarana kadanam trastam pranita. I'm being forced to engage. I'm being overpowered by this unwanted pranita, unwanted association. Overpowered. I have no capacity. Then he is submitting to the Lord. My only shelter is your Lord, tava angri moolam. My only shelter is I can be come out of this samsara, the kadana. This I'm afraid of this birth, death, old age disease, this cycle of birth, death, old age disease. So I want to take your shelter. By that only I can be come out of this bhoga pravrutti. So in that also Prabhupada is emphasizing this. That's a hearing the transcendental knowledge from the pure devotees, as Uttama Adhikaris, the spiritual master, and Srila Prabhupada. Otherwise, it won't be effective. Our Bhoga Pravrutti cannot be purified. Much more elaborate purport Prabhupada is giving. But going back to that same, this Vaishnava, who is the Vaishnava? Whom we have to hear from? Of course, this should be the priority to hear from, for sure, from Prabhupada and Prabhupada's books, reading from Prabhupada's books and hearing from Prabhupada and then spiritual master. And then, of course, the authorities, the temple are arranging so that we definitely hear. But this also has to be simultaneous, has to be done. Otherwise, our propensity to give up this tendency to enjoy cannot go. It cannot be. We have no capacity, no. So that's why again and again you see this Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chitete Kuriyayake. One point it is when you hear from spiritual master Padma Vakya. We can't speak this Brahma Sabda. Sabda Brahma cannot come out from our mouth. It can only come out from the pure devotee, spiritual master, pure devotee of the Lord, so Prabhupada. So that's why it has effects. Immediate transformation, if you take it seriously, attentively, obediently, if you hear, then the transformation is very quick, rapid. Guru Mukha Padma Vaka Chittete Kuriya Karana Kuriho Manas with one point. And at the end also, it says, Aha Prabhu Kuro, the Deho Mure Pada Chaya. I am so fallen that my only shelter is your lotus feet. Let me just even the chaya, pada chaya. Aha, Prabhu Koro Morodaya, pada chaya. Ebejas Bushu Tribhuvana. By showering your causeless mercy, so developing attachment to your lotus feet, your glories will spread all over there. Because when you deliver me, like conditioned soul like me, then your fame will be spread all over the three world, like Jagai Madai. That's what Nityananda Prabhu said to Haridas. Haridas, I'm taking Sankalpa today. I'm going to deliver this most fallen, most sinful. In this way, my Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's fame will be spread all over the three worlds. All over three worlds. I take Sankalpa. Then Haridas said, yes, when you take Sankalpa, there is nothing can stop. They are going to be delivered for sure. As soon as he thought about them, they are going to be delivered for sure. That is another connection. One is to hear, one is to Vaishnava Seva, Nirantar Nam, chanting the holy name, not just 2 hours, 16 round chanting, hearing transcendental message, and then one must take shelter of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. Ara Kabe Nitai Chande, Samsara Dukka Vasana. Then he can only remove by completely taking shelter of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. Otherwise, it is not possible to remove this because faith itself is so weak. Yesterday also we were discussing about this faith. The faith has to be when you are operating on the Sampradaya Siddhanta, Acharya principle, Acharya's words. You're constantly meditating and hearing regularly. Then only you will have faith. This is what faith means. Siddhanta boliya chitta kare alas. Te lagila karne karma bandha fans. Siddhanta boliya na chitta kare alas. If you are lax in understanding the principles of devotion service from the pure devotee, then karma bandha fans. Then your faith is weak. You can't become strong faith. So this is an instruction in Srimad Bhagavatam, second chapter, first canto, chapter 2, Divinity, Divine Service, first verse, 14th or 17th verse. Susrusho Zedadhanasya Vasudev Katar Syan Mahatsevaya Vipra Punya Tirthanim. So Zedadhanasya. You will get faith when? How will you get faith? Strong faith. Dudha Vritti. How? Mahatsevaya Vipra. Not anybody. Mahatsevaya Vipra. This is the instruction to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Mahat कृपा कौन कर्म नाए संसार दूरे रहो. Without the mercy of Mahat Sevaya, then you can't actually attain bhakti. You can't even practice bhakti properly. And forget about bhakti. You can't even cross this material birth, death, old age. Samsara dure raho. It's going to be difficult to even to on this tottering platform. Material activities itself, you will have suffering so much. This is why we have to understand this, these three consonants, Swapna, Jagruti, Sushupti, deep sleep. Even though we are awake seemingly, but when we have Bhoga Pravritti, we will be in deep sleep only because we are ignorant of the fact. Nothing vidu swartha, ignorant of the actual reality. How precarious position is. Danger is at any padam padam etve padam natesham. One who is conscious of this, then he'll realize every day. One who is not conscious is lax, is no alertness. No alertness. Prabhupada showed. Every day I'm going in front of the Lord and praying. I myself. Let me not engage, come to this birth, death, old age, disease. Please protect me from this prakriti, material energy. Prabhupada is showing by his own example how much he doesn't want to be laxed in his duties. He doesn't want to, and the other one is taking responsibility of Guru's instruction, taking responsibility, do something of Guru, what he wants us to do. So one should hear, then one should take the responsibility what Guru says. Out of 10 things or 10, 20 things, keep on repeating, then we should do at least 1, 2, 3 things. Note down and keep doing, try to do as much as possible every day, regularly. Then only, otherwise, without Vaishnava Seva, without Nam Sankirtan, proper chanting effectively, they can't. Bhoga Pravritti cannot go away at all. It's so extremely difficult. We know, we from last 20, 30, 40, whatever practice we have been doing, we can realize ourselves what we have done and how long we have come and how long more is there to go. We have to realize that and we have to make it serious efforts now. Time is up. We don't know when. It could be today or it could be tomorrow. So why to waste our life and go on with the same mentality without changing our consciousness? It becomes extremely difficult in the precarious position. So to that is what this deep sleep and this Sushupti, Jagrati and Swapna. Krishna says that Yuktahar Viharas Yukta Chetas Swapna Avabodhasya Yogo Bhavata Dukha. One must control his eating, sleeping, mating, different all these things, recreation, all these habits. And that is the first 6 chapters. Krishna is stressing so much about transcendental knowledge. Evam Buddhe Param Buddha. Third chapter, this Kama, Krodha, Lova, these 3 things are there in the heart. First 6 is emphasizing you must take to transcendental. Otherwise, you can't transform your Bhoga Prabhu. There is no possibility. No possibility. Fourth chapter ending transcendental knowledge, same thing is telling. Chitvainam Samsayam Yogam Tishtottishta Bharata. You get up, give up your lax, give up your laziness. He's telling. Fifth chapter also same thing. When you come to this transition, then you know Vidya, Vinay, Sampanne, Brahmana, Gavihastini, Sunichayu, Sapal, Pandita, Samadarsin. You will see that equally. We will come to the temple when you are strongly caught up with this, the principles of Acharya, what so Prabhupada is enunciating in every purport, what is the secret of success, what is the essence, what consciousness we have to carry. If you are very, you must, we cut up exactly the principles. Siddhanta, we understood the essence after hearing, repeatedly hearing regularly until to that point, then we completely, fully focused. We are fully focused on Krishna and Guru. So instructions, Vani only. So then we are always in the way, Jagrati. While sleeping also we are awake. Prabhupada is always chanting. 24/7 is always in Hare Krishna mantra is going on in his heart. He's never a time, not thinking about Guru. Never a time I was separated from my Guru. Lord Prabhupada revealed many times with his disciples. This is the pure devotee's character. So it's very difficult to understand. By looking at his activity, sometimes it may be bewildering, like Vamsi Das Babaji Maharaj explained. He used to do that because people used to disturb him. He used to, go and give his whatever he was getting food. He used to give it to all the fishermen, take fish from there and put it in front of his house so that nobody disturbs him. When he comes to temple, also he used to have some BD packet. So then, as soon as people used to say, then run away. Who is this? What kind of this Babaji is? Is drinking, smoking, and all this? They used to run away from him. Sometimes few devotees will do those things, and he can't even understand by looking at his externals. So that's why sometimes to recognize a Vaishnava, to recognize a pure devotee, recognize the sadhu, it's not easy. That also you have to pray. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Chaitanya Bhagavati is explaining that to recognize a Vaishnava also one must pray to Lord Nityananda Balaram and Acharya Sampradaya Acharya. Otherwise, that also is difficult. Who is pure, who is not pure, who is actually following Prabhupada's principle, who is not following also, it's very extremely difficult. So it's not easy. Only by prayers we know who is what. Our present consciousness should be freed from all perceptions of life other than consciousness of Krishna, the Supreme Personality of God. This is called Duri Bhutanya Darshana. This is the same thing. Droga Pravrutti has to be transformed into Krishna consciousness. That's the last 6 chapters also Krishna. First 6 chapters, Krishna is telling transcendental knowledge again and again. And so that you can transform. You should do work. You cannot give up your work. Swadharma is there. Again and again, we have questions. Swadharma is very clear. The body, what is telling? Kshatriya, you fight. That duty you cannot give up. That means your grostha, your job, whatever, that cannot be given up. Unless you take the guidance that your guru says, okay, now you renounce your enough is enough, you go somewhere and do seva there, then that's a different story. But until that point, we're supposed to continue your work. We can't give up. And Parodharma has to be done along with Swadharma. That Parodharma is to engage in Krishna consciousness. Whatever we're getting some money, so we offer something, we offer our service, everything, whatever intelligence we have, IT job, we may develop website, whatever qualification, whatever intelligence we have, we apply in Krishna. This is what Swadharma means, Parodharma means, both. It's very clear. If you don't read purports of Prabhupada, then you have all questions of what is Swadharma means, what is, again and again, you have the same questions. Because the mentality is not there to read and understand what Prabhupada has to say. So, that is 6 chapters, Krishna is very clear. Prabhupada is very clear in the purports. He's not jumping here and there. So, last 6 chapters, also Krishna is stressing. Especially the 15.15 verse and 15.5 verse. Is telling, give up this false ego, nirmana moha, especially faulty association. Transcendental knowledge, you understood from the 4th chapter and 5th chapter. Now, in the last 6 chapters, you understand how this material nature is working. Material nature is working. Is emphasized, is clearly giving the details of 14 chapter, 3 modes of material, how it works. Be aloof. How? You must surrender and you should offer your work again. With that knowledge, with that consciousness that you are not the enjoyer. Nirmana moha. Give up your illusion of false pride and you are not the enjoyer. Krishna is the only enjoyer. Guru is the enjoyer. You try to offer now. So you try to offer. Do that kind of work. Then you will be aloof from these 3 modes of material nature. Otherwise, it will be extreme. Nirmana moha jatasanga. And give up this faulty association. Nishkinchanasya bhagavat bhajron param jigamishor. Bhavasagarasya. Hanta Vishay Bhakshanam Asadu. Don't associate with this too much attached to the woman. Don't associate with those materialistic people. Don't take their association as per a deep, intimate association. Then only you can become Nishkinchana, Kinchana, Nishkinchana. So Kunti Maharaj prayer, the same thing repeatedly again and again. This has been told. The first 6 chapters stressing this transcendental knowledge, transforming our work. The last 6 chapters stressing how to give up this enjoyment propels the consciousness and surrender now. With the transcendental, we must surrender and understand how the material nature is working. Scrutinizing, we have to realize that, and then offer everything to Krishna. Then we come to Sarvadharma Parichita. Otherwise, it's extreme deep if we don't understand how this material nature works. That's why a few chapters are there in this. Last chapter, this chapter is stressing on the fundamental principle of material nature in Srimad Bhagavatam, because more we understand about Prakriti, how it works. That's Chaitanya earlier class also was telling. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu never uttered a word Sri, never uttered a word called woman. He's uttering only Prakriti. He's very careful. He's showing the whole world how one should be alert, not be attracted by the external beauty. That's why he's teaching us. This is called Duri Bhutana Darshana, which means that when one at perfect consciousness, he does not see anything but Krishna. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is said the perfect devotee may see many movable and immovable objects, but in everything he sees that energy of Krishna. That is a verse of what is that? Stavara Jangama Deke Na Deke Sarvatra Hoy Istadevata Spurti. Everywhere he is seeing Vidya Vinay Sampanne. He is seeing Krishna, Krishna's property only. He is seeing. So everywhere. He is not seeing anything. He is thinking himself is lowest. Everybody else is already a devotee. So Tumara Govinda Hriday Vishram. So Govinda Vishram. So Lord is saying pure devotee, take shelter of my pure devotee, because in his heart only Govinda is there. In Govinda, who is there? Pure devotee only is there. So in both ways, Lord is always thinking pure devotee is always thinking Lord. So that's when Narottam Das Thakur is telling that Tumara Hridaya Govinda Vishram. Let me take shelter of O Vaishnav Thakur. In your heart only Govinda is there. Let me take your shelter. Vaishnav, that's why Vaishnav is supremely important. Any Vaishnav we should try to serve, especially if he is a sadhu, Prabhupada. of highest caliber, we must serve even more attentively, absorbedly. We should hear, we should serve them as much as possible with our best capacities and abilities, and humbly also. Not with proud that I have this great qualification of strength or scholarship or I know better than you or whatever. Those things, as then we can't do anything. We can't attain anything with that mentality. As soon as he remembers the energy of Krishna, he immediately remembers Krishna in his personal form. Therefore, on all his observations, this is Krishna only. In Brahma Samhita, this is putting Prabhavan and Sruta Bhakti Vilochanaya. Chakshus eva arkam, and he is giving the example. As we can see the sun without a doubt, one who is fully developed in Krishna consciousness is Krishna and his energy. By this vision, one becomes Atmatrika, self-realized. When the false ego is off, identifying the body with the self is removed, actual vision of the life is perceivable. The senses therefore also become purified. Real service of the Lord begins when the senses are purified. One does not have to stop the activities of the senses, but the false ego of identifying the body has to be removed. Nirmana moha, that's what it is. But it will only come when you hear transcendental knowledge, otherwise it can't come. Then the senses automatically become purified. With purified senses, one can actually discharge devotion service. So, in this way, we can understand this verse. Let's stop here. Dhanraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Gopad ki jai. Gaur Bhakti ki jai. Take shelter of the Vaishnava. Chant the holy name as much as possible. Take shelter of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. So, purify our work and senses in this way. Gopad ki jai. Gaur Bhakti ki jai. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Can you hear me?
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. Thank you very much, Krishna. We'd like to wish everybody a safe and Krishna conscious day ahead. And we'd like to offer our prayers to the Supreme Lord by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Krishna,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaina Singha, Jaina Singha, Jaina Singha, Praladesha, Jaya Padma Mukha Padma Bringam. Ugravira Mahavishnam Jwalantam Sarvatmukam Narsingam Vishanam Bhajaram Nityam Namyam. Narsingh Bhagwan ki jai, Prahlad Maharaj ki jai.
Jai. Jai.
Our obeisances to all the Samal Vaishnavas. Vanchakalpatarubhayas Chakripa Sindhu Bhayavita Patitanam Avane Vaishnavebhyo Namaha. Vishnavinda ki jai, Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Premanande.
Thank you, Krishna.
Thank you, everybody. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, everyone.